Subscribe to our YouTube channel for in-depth interviews of India Inc. and press the bell icon so that you do not miss our updates.
Hello and welcome to Nirmal, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Hiral Dadia. We have with us Mr. Sunil Chordia, CMD at Rajratan Global Wires, joining in. Welcome to the show, Mr. Chordia, and always a pleasure to speak to you. My first question coming to you is, how would you actually describe FY21 as a whole in financial terms, and did it actually meet your internal expectations?
Thank you, Hiral, for giving me this opportunity to talk to you. Overall, we are very satisfied with the financial year 21. It began with a lockdown, severe lockdown in quarter 1. So we thought that things are not going to be great for the company. But fortunately, as soon as lockdown opened, we saw a huge demand. Probably it was a pent-up demand, and there it was associated with logistics problem. So a lot of import of peat wire was not possible. One of our supplier also couldn't supply, one of our competitor. So we had to fulfill all the requirement of the customer, which gave us good business in FY21. We had also expanded our capacity last year, which gave us the advantage, and we could immediately utilize that expanded capacity. Yeah. So overall, I am satisfied with the year gone by.
Right. In fact, if you look at the fourth quarter itself, it has been one of the best quarters in terms of production as well as sales. So are you expecting this to continue and become a trend from here on, or do you think it was a kind of one-off that we saw due to pent-up demand?
No, if you look at quarter 3 also, that was equally good, and quarter 4 was a little better than quarter 3. So if you look at overall second half of the last year, we have grown. Okay, so last year we have grown in spite of one full quarter lost because of COVID. But going forward, I'm very confident that we will not only repeat the performance, we will improve from there in this year.
Yeah. Okay. And overall, if you go to see, even in terms of the fourth quarter, we've done well. Financial year-wise also, we've done really well. If we talk about the margins, we've improved substantially in the fourth quarter as well as in FY21. Is this kind of margin number sustainable on the EBITDA front as well as on the net profit front?
Yeah, here look at the margins. It is not only because we got the pent-up demand and we had the opportunity to increase the price. It is because of the leverage also. We are sitting with the world's biggest single line bead wire, where we make 5,000 tons of bead wire. So our costs are very competitive, and our overheads are divided over a larger volume, which gives us long-term advantage of cost and margins. So I'm sure we'll continue to make similar margins in coming years.
Right. So overall, the automobile industry is the industry which you cater to, and it's one of the largest industries that you cater to. Now, in terms of FY21, there has been some bit of degrowth. There has been weakness that we are seeing with regards to where automobile sales is concerned. In spite of that, we as a company have seen good numbers. So what has led to this kind of growth?
Hiral, tire industry is a little bit different from the automobile industry. 50% of the tire goes in for the original equipment, goes in for a new vehicle to be fitted in. But 70% tire sales is for replacement market.
Okay.
A trucker has to replace his tire every 3 months or 4 months. And similarly, the car will replace it every year. So 70% of the tire is directly related to the economy and the mobility of the people and mobility of the goods and services in India. So I don't see that we should correlate it directly to the automobile demand. It is more to do with the overall economic activity. Yeah. So you look at tire companies, all the tire companies are growing. They have posted good numbers last quarter, last year, all of them are expanding. So I see a good demand for our product by all the automobile companies.
So basically, we are trying to say that the replacement demand has been pretty strong, taking into consideration that, public transport is missing. So private transport is something that has picked up.
Yes, it is not only transport of people, it is transport of goods also, which
Correct.
is picked up. So overall, I see the demand will continue this year also. And when we are talking to our customers, they are all very optimistic, and they are all asking us to gear up for a larger supply this year.
Right. So overall, if we talk about domestic sales versus exports, which is the business which has done really well?
Hiral, from our India factory, we are not exporting much. That factory is to cater to Indian demand. Okay, and we have a substantial market share in India. And we are exporting from our Thailand unit, which is more of a port-based location. So export is viable from Thailand. So we are seeing a very strong demand because there is a alternate to China. People are looking at an alternate to Chinese supplies. So there is a huge interest of customers in Southeast Asian market, including some customers in USA are asking for material. So I see an overall good prospect for export for Rajratan from Thailand to begin with. And as you know, we are the only company in Thailand. There is a possibility of growing market share in Thailand this year. Yeah, because the logistic problem from China and across the world has compelled customers to buy locally. And fortunately, we are the only company making bead wire in Thailand. So our market share in Thailand will also grow this year.
So by how much are we expecting the market share to grow with regards to Thailand, as well as if you have to talk about the domestic business as well?
In Thailand, we were around 20% market share till last year. But during last 2 quarters, we are seeing more buying from local customers, and we are increasing capacity in Thailand, and we are looking at minimum 30% market share this year in Thailand local market. Yeah.
Okay. And currently, what's the kind of capacity utilization that we have at both the factories?
Our Thailand factory is running at full capacity currently. There is no problem. There is enough orders. In India, we are seeing last 10-15 days, I have seen reduction in the demand. But we are running at full capacity right now because we were short of any stock. We had hardly finished good stock in our factory. So we are building up, and I am sure as lockdown opens up, there will be a robust demand coming back.
Right. So in terms of demand as well, between two-wheelers, passenger vehicles, and heavy vehicle, medium to heavy CVs, where is the demand coming from, and how is our sales breakup looking like?
Hiral, it is difficult to find out how much of the bead wire has gone in for which kind of tire. Okay, but yeah, we see a reduction in production numbers of two-wheeler tires as we talk to our customers. But the commercial tires for the trucks and the buses, that production is still at its full. Yeah.
Okay. And overall, with regards to capacity expansion, what are we looking like? Because clearly, if we are going to garner higher market share in this year, do we have the capacity to do that, or do you think there will be further expansion that would be needed?
No, we have increased the capacity last year from 36,000 tons to 72,000, as we have spelled out in our presentations and to our investors. We will be this year will be utilizing that capacity to its maximum. And going forward, we are exploring possibility of putting up a plant in South India, which is closer to our customers. And as we are talking to customers, and Atma has given a projection of 7 to 8% growth in tire business in India. So we think that putting up a greenfield project in South is a good decision, and we are exploring the possibility of putting up a 60,000 tons capacity closer to the port in South India.
And how long will it take for this capacity to come up?
capacity will come up in 2 years' time, but it is a process of 2-3 years to utilize and really make it viable and make it fully operational.
And overall, what's the kind of funding that we will need for the same, and how do you look to fund the entire project?
If you look at our cash flows, we have a robust cash flow projection for next 2-3 years. So, and the investment is also phased out in 3 years. So first, we are investing in Thailand this year. We are increasing the capacity in Thailand from current 35,000 tons to 60,000 tons. So that work is on. And then the investment will be required for a South India plant. And so it will be a combination of internal accruals and little bit of debt. Generally, we would not like to become a debt-heavy company. That is our philosophy.
In fact, if we see the debt to equity ratio as well, that's improved. Clearly, we have paid off some amount in this year as well. However, the interest cover has gone up by 39%. So are we looking to reduce debt and the cost of debt this year? Where do you see it coming?
Cost of debt for Rajratan is already very competitive, very good. Our borrowing cost in India is close to 7%, and it is less than 5% in Thailand. And going forward, we don't see a major increase in total overall debt and cost of debt. And as I told you, it will be combination. So maybe a little bit change in the debt equity ratio, but not as a philosophy, our board will not allow us to go overboard and borrow heavily.
Right. And overall, with the kind of challenges that are arising out of COVID-19, I mean, sometimes there are operations which are discontinued. There is government control which comes down on the lockdowns. There are shipment challenges as well that companies have been facing. Do you think we will be able to meet our FY22 guidance in terms of volumes, or do you think we will exceed that as well?
Look at our second half performance of last year, so that itself gives us a growth of 30-35%, which is huge. And I'm confident little bit of impact due to lockdowns may be there, but I'm bullish, I'm confident.
Absolutely. So I think that's something that we need to watch out for as well, because a lot of businesses, in spite of all these challenges, have been doing really well. And one example is Rajratan right now with the kind of performance that we've seen in FY21 as well. Thank you, Mr. Chordia, so much for joining us on the show. And thank you for all the questions that you've answered so far as well. Good luck, and we will speak to you soon again.
Yeah, thank you, Hiral.
Stay safe. Thank you.
Opportunity. All the best. Thank you.